What do you think happens if the government comes and looks at my books of my business or looks at my foundation and says, hey, there's a $10 million gap here. Where's the money that you're not accounting for? And I tell the government, I don't know, it's just disappeared. What do you think happens to me? Do you think they just accept that and walk away? Of course they don't. But yet we do it to trillions of dollars with our government. Why are we not going with a flat tax and eliminating the need for the IRS to police the American citizen and instead have the IRS work for the American citizen? Take those 100,000 people that work for the IRS and point them straight at our government and start auditing every single dime that's being spent? How is it that we've gone over and spent 120 plus billion dollars in Ukraine and our government says, well, we lost $6 billion. Well, we lost $1 billion worth of equipment. Well, it looks like some corrupt Ukrainian politicians have stolen over $40 million. But yet I would argue they've lost all $120 billion because nobody, if asked, can tell me where a single penny of that is gone. Not one person. They actually voted against auditing that money before approving any future money. And that was done so by the Democrat House. How is it that we can hear right before 9/11 that we can't account for $2 trillion? And then we hear, last year or year before, we can't find another $1.5 trillion. How about the fact that if you're listening to C-SPAN and you're watching the hearings on COVID, our government just admitted that they've lost $64 billion in COVID funding. Where did the money go? How is this even possible that they can lose this level of money? Because we're not auditing a single thing they do. Nobody has ever done a checks and balances on anything that our government spends money on. They can't tell you where any of the money is going for all these social programs. They have run Social Security into the ground because they've just been taking money out of that and not telling you where it's gone. Now it's on the verge of insolvency. And what does Nikki Haley want to do? Well, she would prefer that you work for another 5 years so that you can only take advantage of that for the next 6 or 7 years before you die. Because they're mismanaging the money. We're okay with it. But the IRS can police you all the way down to $600 you do on a fucking cash app. But we've lost trillions of dollars that we can't account for. Billions in Afghanistan, billions in Ukraine, billions in COVID spending, billions in social programs. But yet nobody's fucking saying anything. And what do? They want to raise your taxes. We took in $5 trillion in taxes last year. $5 trillion, that's a record. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a corrupt government spending problem in which nobody's held accountable for a single fucking penny. I have to tell the government what I do in my life, in my business, and my foundations to the fucking penny. I'm responsible for that. But our government doesn't even have to come to within $1 trillion.